I do want to entirely switch gears here for just a moment, and we're going to go to the Houston area for this next live report that we've got coming from Fox 26 Houston's Chelsea Edwards. We are learning more about the man charged with murdering his girlfriend's 8-year-old son, then leaving the boy's body in an apartment with the child's 3 siblings for a year. He appeared in court for the first time yesterday, and we did do a little preview about it here on Live Now from Fox ahead of time. So we do want to bring you an update when it comes to what exactly happened in that courtroom. So we are going to bring in Fox 26 Houston's Chelsea Edwards to give us the latest. Chelsea, good morning to you. How are you doing?
Good morning. I mean, this case has really gripped everybody, not just here in Houston, but across the nation. So, hearing some of the details that have come out have been quite disturbing. Yesterday morning was the first time Brian Coulter appeared in court. He missed his probable cause hearing because he was getting a mental health evaluation. So, this was the first time that he was talking to a judge, hearing the charges. He reportedly seemed like he did not understand what was going on. He did ask the judge to repeat the charges. He is charged with first-degree murder in the killing of that 8-year-old son of Gloria Williams, his girlfriend, whose body was left in that apartment, the A-Leaf apartment, with her 3 kids. So, yeah, as we dig more into this, including their social media profiles, we're seeing more and more about this couple. This picture was posted by Gloria probably less than a month before the killing happened. She's also posted several other pictures. This tattoo, the warrior tattoo, this couple reportedly got these matching tattoos after the murder, probably a few months after. She posted this in April, and Brian has one on his neck. But we've also seen on social media how he was bragging about doing drugs, bragging about all the meals that Gloria was making for him while her 3 sons were left abandoned in that apartment, malnourished and eating off of snacks that were dropped off through a delivery service. So prosecutors told us yesterday that they are looking to keep him on the highest bond available. So he is still on $1 million bond. He is locked up. Meanwhile, Gloria was expected to be in court this morning. However, the judge for both cases, the original judge, he recused himself for personal reasons. So her hearing has been pushed to next week so far. So in the meantime, she did have her probable cause hearing, and we've been hearing more details from the kids, the interviews with police about a lot of the disturbing things that were happening in that apartment, along with the continued abuse.
Chelsea, what do we know right now about the 3 children that were living with the remains of their little brother? Do we know where they are right now?
As far as we know, they are still in CPS custody. Prosecutors have been they've kept the details private, along with the kids' names. We do have the name of the deceased, 8-year-old Kendrick Lee. However, even in court documents, they keep the kids only to their initials. They're not releasing their names. They're, maintaining their privacy because they are minors. But from what we were told from that probable cause hearing, a lot of that centered around the abuse that was taking place in the apartment, what happened when Kendrick Lee was murdered. The kids were told police that they were in the room as they watched their brother get beaten and kicked to death. They had descriptions of his body, and I have to apologize to the viewers because these are some gruesome details, but they did describe that body as being covered in roaches, his eyes being black, and over time that body was just left there for almost a year. But they described what happened afterwards, that Brian Coulter allegedly covered Kendrick's body with a blanket, and that he and Williams argued about what happened. And the 15-year-old thought that Williams was going to call police, but instead she moved out about 25 minutes away to an area in Houston called West Chase. So she moved out and lived with Coulter in a separate apartment, and they only came back occasionally. And during those occasional visits, Coulter is accused of continuously beating the children. The 10-year-old, when he was discovered, when all three boys were discovered, he had a serious jaw injury that police believe he was given by Coulter about 3 weeks before all of this happened. And because he wasn't taken to the hospital, he had to be taken to Texas Children's for surgery. So a lot of, disturbing details that we're hearing about the conditions that they were living in as well, with no furniture, and flea and roach infested apartment. So just a lot of heart-wrenching things that are coming out about this case.
Yeah, Chelsea, I don't even think disturbing is the word, as all of these details have come out. And I know so many people have asked, where has the family been? I know that you and your team have spoken to a couple of members of the boys, literally the children's family. What have they had to say?
Yeah, so as it turns out, Williams also has a total of 6 kids. That's what we were told by a family member, a grandmother on the paternal side of one of the children. So that grandmother actually took in one of Williams's girls, a 13-year-old girl. But Williams also reportedly has a 17-year-old girl who asked to come and live with that grandmother during the time when Coulter and Williams were together under that roof and with the kids, and she was seeing all this abuse. She didn't like how her brothers were treated. So she asked to go live with that grandmother. But at this time, we're hearing that 17-year-old has not been located. A lot of what the family is saying, that they just did not expect this from Williams, that she was a kind soul before all of this happened, that she didn't drink or do drugs or anything like that. But it's really a mystery as far as what happened in this case, how she turned, who she was before and who she is now.
Absolutely. Well, Chelsea, we thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox to kind of break down all of the really gruesome details when it comes to the investigation. We will continue to check in with your team regarding this case. You have a great weekend.
All right, you too.